car's on fire, and there's no driver at the wheel. And the sewers are all muddied with 1,000 lonely suicides. And a dark wind blows. The government is corrupt. And we're on so many drugs with the radio on and the curtains drawn. We're trapped in the belly of this horrible machine. And the machine is bleeding to death. The sun has fallen down. And the billboards are all leering. And the flags are all dead at the top of their poles. It went like this. The buildings toppled in on themselves. Mothers clutching babies picked through the rubble and pulled out their hair. The skyline was beautiful on fire. All twisted metal stretching upwards. Everything washed in a thin orange haze. I said, kiss me, you're beautiful. These are truly the last days. You grabbed my hand, and we fell into it, like a daydream or a fever.
"911 was a day when 3,000 people had the life force ripped from their physical bodies. It all happened so quickly. No one had prepared for their deaths. In many traditional cultures around the world, family members gather at the bedside and help the spirit of their loved one pass into the spirit world. However, with a violent, unexpected tragedy like 911, it is likely that the spirits of those killed would have stayed at ground zero, lost, possibly forever.
When they do their terrorist events to blame on someone else, they are very ritualistic in nature in terms of when they're done, where they're done, and how they're done. So 9/11, I mean 9/11, what do you dial for an emergency in America? 9/11.
Yes.
You find this so often in these events that they engineer.
Did you know that the Madrid train bombs were exploded 911 days after September the 11th, 2001?
Doesn't surprise me, because the thing is that when I started researching this, my bloody jaw was dropping, not just at the ritualistic and symbolic nature of what they did, but the scale and detail of it.
Yes.
It's almost like someone's created a computer program to give you the perfect symbolic, ritualistic background to the latest horrific event.
Like something out of the Tower Inferno, like a movie.
Now, in your book, Alice in Wonderland and the World Trade Center disaster, you actually point out that those twin towers are symbolic architectural edifices, which I think you compared them to the twin pillars of Freemasonry, Jachin and Boaz. So you've got everything there. You've got like, would you say that it was like a mass ritual, a mass sacrifice?
Yes, that's what wars are, they're mass sacrifices. Yes. You know, this shock and awe in Iraq, for instance, was there to have a mass sacrifice. We don't target civilians is absolute nonsense. Of course they target civilians. They want as many dead people as possible. And of course Iraq, the former land of Sumer and Babylon, has enormous significance to these people because they go back to that period and that area of Babylon, etc. In fact, what we're seeing now is global Babylon when you look at the symbolism of Babylon.
Yes.
And for them to kill all those people there, it is a mass ritual sacrifice.
Get in here! Get away from the glass! Oh, my is out there! My is out there! The whole building, watch the debris come down the street. Don't open the door. Get away from the window. But I just told them. Don't open the door. Get behind. Oh my God, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my God. Oh my God. You're right. Oh my God, you saved my life. You saved my life. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And what I would say to people is, you know, if you are going to judge what this state of consciousness would do on the basis of what you would do, then you're going to lose the plot from the first, because you have a level of compassion, you have a level of empathy, that's the word, empathy, with people who suffer the consequences of your actions. That empathy is what balances out your behavior towards someone else, because you have empathy with the consequences for them. You remove that empathy, and this controlling consciousness has no empathy, not even with itself, never mind its victims and its targets, because they are as ruthless with each other as they are with the human race. You take away that empathy, and there are no fail-safe mechanisms to block extreme behavior. So, whoa, the people who run America wouldn't kill 3,000 of their own people. What? They'd have a party.
Benjamin Franklin and a lot of these so-called founding fathers and others, they came into America with the knowledge as agents of this Illuminati to take that continent over. Again, he was one of the major players in the introduction to America of the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. And a few years ago, there was a newspaper article about the renovation of Franklin's home near Trafalgar Square. And when they dug up the floor, I think they're going to create a museum for him, they found 10 bodies, 6 of them children, which they dated to the time that Franklin and his housemate were there. And they said he must have been into body snatching for medical research. But when you get into, as we will before this first break, when you get into what they're into, there could be another explanation for 10 bodies under the floor. George Washington, another aristocratic bloodline who became the first president of the United States. The takeover was already underway from the start. He was a major, major Freemason. Do Freemasons do a lot of washing up? Is that... I don't know. Is that what they do? I don't know. They take themselves seriously.